Jackalope Enterprises, where all your needs for furry antelopes are met. Antlers. Goddamn antelope. God. Up my own joke.
I was about to do
my own joke.
I was about to do the old okay then Gray's gone crazy. Hello. And then you then you realize what happened. Well, welcome folks to tonight's episode of Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio, all fandom all the time. With me here tonight is Random Greymane.
I apologize to the antelope fandom.
And the fangirl.
Hello.
Oh, man. So, how are we doing tonight, guys?
The Mushroom Kingdom is...
Yeah.
And for those of you uninitiated, I use that as the code term for where I work.
Yeah, suffice to say, and I do apologize if I steal your thunder here, Fanny, but suffice to say, things have been stressful for her.
Adulting sucks. Whoever said it didn't was a liar.
They're a filthy liar. I totally feel your pain. I've been kind of burnt out myself. Just up and down recently. I think I'm in sort of a rut, just doing the same thing over and over again, which, you know, it happens. That's why I'm actually thankful that I'm on TikTok right now. I actually post content on TikTok, nothing related to the Trainwreck as of yet, though maybe that'll change at some point.
He's doing those sexy dances.
No, what I'm actually doing is like D&D story time, where I talk about our one-shot campaign that went on for 5 years.
It's the mistake he ever made, folks.
Best mistake I ever made. We've got at least like seven or nine parts, which more or less highlight the first module.
The actual first two sessions, like these pieces actually happened in the first two sessions. Because yes, it was a 2-session one shot. Because because I discovered in this little incident that I have players who love to RP, and shit that should only take about 10 minutes, they will stretch out to 45.
Yeah, like we can't help it. We like getting in the headspace of characters. And you know, the whole reason that campaign became 5 years long was entirely my fault because... Okay, here's some setup. I originally made a character that was meant for a campaign that wasn't supposed to be a one-shot. For those who don't know, Fanny is/was, I don't know, I'm not involved in it. She is the DM for Ponies with Pockets Dungeons and Dragons game. What's it called?
Ponies with Pockets Gaming. It was. We didn't actually have a title for it. We didn't actually have a title. The group didn't even have a moniker. They were just this ragtag bunch of people who met in the salt. And I ran them through the Salt Marsh storyline, and we went from there. But yeah, Trade originally made this character for that, but then schedule conflicts occurred.
Yeah, I originally made this character. He's a half-orc barbarian. I originally kind of envisioned him as kind of the Grimlock of the group, just a stupid, like, barbarian that just hits things. And then I went further and made a whole story for him, and then the one-shot happened, and I was so proud of the character I had made that I put him in the one-shot. But unfortunately, I have a problem when it comes to making characters. Sometimes, well, I say sometimes, a majority of the time, I make them into edgelord characters. And not the fun kind of edgelord characters most of the time. They're the ones that take themselves way too fucking seriously. And so, you know, things happened, and the edgelord nature of my character just kind of pretty much, like, ruined the story, and I wrote myself out of the campaign, but, you know, I realized what I had done. I wanted to come back, and it felt so bad, because Fanny was so, like, proud of this module that she had found, and she was having fun with it, and so I came back, and we did a second episode, and things just kind of spiraled from there. And yeah, 5 years later,
Well,
here we are.
long story short, he ended up marrying what was supposed to be the bad guy.
Yeah, there were three options. We could have had this Banshee woman marry someone. We could have had her marry the person she wanted to marry, or we could have just fought her. We chose option 4 and had a player marry her because, the first option involved marrying her to an NPC rather than an actual player. But, we had a player marry her, and so here we are 5 years later.
Yeah, 5 years later, most epic campaign I've ever run, best characters I've ever seen grow in a storyline. It's
left its mark on all of us, and each campaign that we've done since has had at least like echoes of that campaign, like little Easter eggs, if not like full-on references or characters from that campaign. Like that, this was our Critical Role campaign 1 of our little group, our little private group. We don't know if any of our episodes from like this game or subsequent games or ever are going to be released on Celestial Radio. It depends on whether or not I can actually get myself back in the spirit of editing audio. But
you know what? I'm going to have, I'll explain this in a minute, but I'm going to have 6 weeks of ass time in front of the computer. So maybe we'll work something out.
Maybe, but that's a big if. Honestly, I'm fine with these being private experiences, honestly, because I'm just having fun with my friends.
Yeah, but we have been rerunning the same D&D tracks for a while now, haven't we?
True.
Yes,
yeah.
we have. It's about time the Dice and Dingbat series should be revived with something new.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But yeah, that's talk for another day. So what else is going on?
Also, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about RPing a character. None whatsoever. I have no idea.
So aside from that, let's see here. It's boys and girls. It's that time of year again where the because of the global warmings, regardless of what other people say about it not being real, it is very much a real thing. But because of the global warming, and because of other factors, and just simply because our planet is round, screw you flat earthers, this was proven eons ago, but because we are a spherical planet that spins and time has passed, for those of us in the northern hemisphere of the planet, it very much is summer. Those of you in the southern hemisphere, as well as the other half of the planet who are going through winter, we envy you at this point. I don't like snow, but I don't like it to be blazing hot, in spite of me being from a very balmy state.
Yeah, so, the death ball is high in the sky. Yes,
the death ball is high in the sky. It's making things very uncomfortable here. So. We at Celestial Radio wish to urge you all to be very careful when you go and do your outings this summer. It's going to be hotter than ever. Please, if you are going to be under the sun for prolonged periods, please wear sunscreen
and look up the symptoms for heat stroke
and sun poisoning.
Know those before you go outside for any long period of time.
To avoid these things, if you can, if you must be outside, again, sunscreen is necessary. Water.
Yep.
Soda's not going to cut it. Juices aren't going to cut it. Gatorade might be alright. But no, if you want to stay hydrated during this time of year, we urge you drink lots and lots of water to keep hydrated and cool and safe. And last of all, just take care of yourselves.
Please do.
Just take care of yourselves. So, it's that time of year again for that sort of thing. And also, because it's that time of year, we're about to enter into fireworks season.
What do you mean, about to enter?
Well, okay, we're in the fireworks season. Every other week is a holiday in the United States. In the America land, there are currently various different reasons to celebrate with fireworks. While playing with the pyrotechnics this summer, please use caution and safety. Do not operate while drunk. If you are of legal drinking age, do not operate fireworks while drunk. Let's see here. If you are not of legal drinking age, what's wrong with you? Stop!
All the warnings in the world ain't gonna stop them.
And then avoid using fireworks without adult supervision.
Fireworks are not wands.
They're not
wands. Roman candle is not your wand. Don't play around with a Roman candle battle.
They're not toys. Don't hold one and say, look at me, look at me. It's going to explode in your hand and you're going to lose your fingers. So please be safe around fireworks and other pyrotechnics. Be safe while, if you are of legal drinking age, be safe while imbibing. You drink responsibly, please. Do not drive. And of course, last but not least, it is okay to celebrate. It is okay to be patriot. It is okay to enjoy time with family and friends. But please, do no harm to others. Do nothing dumb. And if you are responsible, safe, and smart, we will see you on the other side of the summer months in time for pumpkin spice lattes and trick-or-treat bags.
I vote we replace the 4th of July with the second Halloween.
I second that. I also put to the table that if you're celebrating the 4th of July, celebrate it on the 4th of July, not the 2nd, or the 6th, or the 30th of June, for the good love of God.
What are you talking about? My subdivision is already making noise at night, no less. So,
yeah, for the love of God, if you're gonna celebrate a holiday with fucking fireworks, celebrate it on the fucking day. Don't start shooting shit off weeks in advance. Save it.
Also, we don't care what gender your gender reveal party does. Just don't start a fucking fire with it.
Yes, please. I'm amazed that I haven't gotten my hands on more news regarding that. What was the last big news that I got? Another fire?
The rock quarry. The rock quarry.
Oh,
the rock quarry was the last big one that we saw.
Yeah, they set off some big explosion, wasn't it? And people freaked out because
it was like 500 pounds of tannerite or something like that.
Yeah, the tannerite. Fuck. Yeah, it was enough tannerite to cause a small earthquake.
Which it basically did.
Yeah.
It basically shattered nearby windows.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Anywho. With all that being said, it's time
I still have a hole in my foot. No, sorry, never mind, go ahead.
No, that's actually a good point. Yeah, Gray still has a hole in his foot. Gray actually got back from the hospital yesterday at the time of this recording.
That is correct. Yes, I got back from the hospital yesterday after being in the hospital for 5 days while they let bacteria grow, aka pathology cultures. So the last one hasn't finished yet, but they let me go anyway because they're like, it's not going to finish before your surgery date, so just go. So, and that's tomorrow. Tomorrow I get to go at early in the morning, have outpatient surgery, and then they close up the hole in my foot, hopefully. The worst part that could ever happen is he could take the entire foot, which I doubt he will do, but he could.
Well, we hope that that won't be the case.
We hope that you will that you will keep your toes all intact.
A shout out to Mrs. Greymane, who has been very, very supportive despite how she's been feeling with her latest round of poisoning drugs. She's very supportive. She's like, no, you can't lose your foot. But I have a workshop. I can make another foot. No.
I was just about to make that fucking joke.
You could make a peg leg.
I haven't. I'm a technology person, please.
I was just about to make the fucking joke that you would go Warhammer Orc and just make a fucking cyberfoot that shoots missiles from your toes or some shit like that.
Will you stop giving my ideas away? Will you stop doing that, please? My phone's gonna ring. Hello. This is the ATF.
If anyone is more of an orc than me, it is you, because you actually know how to do mech boy stuff.
I won't deny that I have some technical knowledge. I won't deny this. All I'll say this is it would be a lot easier for me to make a foot than an entire leg. So,
True.
You know, if the foot has to go, I'll make a foot. Mrs. Greymane says I can't let the foot go. So there's my conundrum. So
at least there's options.
At least I have options, yes.
Yeah, anywho. Like I was saying, time to start the show proper. You all know the drill by now. We've got the softcore material and the hardcore material, and there are music breaks somewhere in the middle, one of which is coming up right now. So we'll be right back with the softcore material, folks, here on Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time, except when you're making an orc foot.
But will they be green toeses?
Nothing says I have to paint it green. Nothing.
Well, you gotta paint it.
You can't.
Well, you gotta paint it red because red ones go faster.
Yeah, right. My right foot would go faster than my left foot. That would be a good recipe. That's good. Yeah. I am not going to try and imitate the THX sound noise.
I don't think that's possible through a human larynx. Anywho, welcome back, passengers, to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestia Radio, all fandom all the time. It's time to start the softcore material. Oh, man. There's a lot of, interesting things happening in this episode.
I don't like the way you say that.
Yes, this bothers us.
Well, let's start with something stupid and laughable. Note to all burglars and thieves and whatnot, when you are robbing a house or a vehicle, do not leave your cell phone behind, especially if it is passcode free.
Oh dear.
How does this fail? Let me count the ways.
Right, this happened on June 6, 2022, when a bungling thief left a passcode-free cell phone behind in a stolen van. This comes to us from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
That's a special kind of stupid there, don't you know?
Yeah. So this happened last month in the Field neighborhood of Minneapolis, when Crystal and Hamza... I'm so sorry in advance. Al-Habarne? They were sound asleep. And apparently, thieves rolled up on a bike. What the fuck is this grammar here? What is this, CBS? Their van, also asleep, was parked in front of their house. What do you mean their van was also asleep?
Someone did not proofread!
What?
I personally am not going to ever wake up a van.
What the fuck?
Someone did not proofread this fucking article.
Yeah, like, fuck, that on its own is enough of a fail to be on this show. What the fuck? Okay, so, yeah. The thieves on a bike showed up to steal it just after midnight on that evening. It was a clunky operation from the start, apparently, according to Crystal. Man, there are grammar problems on this article all over the fucking shop. She thinks it took them nearly an hour. Who the fuck is the editor of this article? Aaron Hassanzadeh.
I am going
Aaron.
Yeah.
CBS, you need to hire proofreaders and editors for your written articles. It is clear that most of the people who work for you did not actually finish their bachelor's degree in journalism.
Actually, I don't know if this is like from CBS alone, because like there's of course a lot of our other news websites there have the same typos and whatnot.
This is Oh, it's a high school grad, no college, is excited to get back to storytelling in the community that raised her. Okay, so she is actually somebody that just came back to Minnesota after being in South Korea and Omaha. I am going to guess that after being in South Korea, that's probably why her pronouns or her sentence structure is fucked up.
Anyway, I'm gonna work with
but yes, we need proofreaders here.
Yeah, I'm gonna work with what I got. But yeah, Crystal here believes that it took the thieves nearly an hour to hotwire the car before backing away. They could only go in reverse, apparently. There were a few other problems with the crime as well. The first one being that the van, which is a big, wrapped, branded carpet cleaning business van, was not exactly discreet. I mean,
don't take your day job's fucking work vehicle to your fucking burglary.
No, this is the van that was stolen. So the moral is don't steal a van that is so fucking obvious.
Here's the problem with that. The Mushroom Kingdom rent worlds. Well, I live in the Mushroom Kingdom, but here's the thing. One of the other rent worlds that belong to my district, one of the other castles, had the same situation happen to their box van. Not the big box truck, but to the van. Literally, somebody came, stole a rent world van, and did it because the van was a freaking steal. I mean, it was a fucking good price, I guess. I don't know. Like, they just decided to buy a branded van.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I have a quote from Crystal here. Like 3 blocks ahead of where I was, I saw it drive across the street right in front of me down 40th, and I was like, that's our van. So yeah, it can be recognized from a distance away. Just hours after the van was stolen from 46th and Portland, Crystal spotted the van at 40th and 4th Avenue. She chased it down an alley and confronted the driver. I was like, that's my van! And he took off, she said. The thief finally ditched the van at 38th Street and 11th Avenue. The dash was completely ripped off, Crystal said. Tons of equipment for her husband's carpet cleaning business that was inside was gone. This isn't a quote from someone. This is the article itself saying the van is... Oh, I thought it said the van is like totaled. No, the van is likely totaled. But there was also a laughable discovery. Quote, he left his cell phone in the passenger seat. It didn't have a passcode. It just said, hold down to unlocked, Crystal said. And when she unlocked it, quote, he was logged into his Facebook Messenger. It had text messages where he was sending a picture of the equipment to try and sell it to people. You fucking moron.
The levels are stupid.
I will say at the time that this article was written, which was June 6th, need I remind you, the criminals were not caught as of yet. I do not know if that is still the case. It is currently the 22nd at the time of this recording of the same month, so one can only hope that they caught him because, identification and proof.
Okay, so this is in Minneapolis, which means that the PD is probably pretty useless because they're already being... The PD has its own problems in Minneapolis. In case you haven't been reading the news, the PD is out of control in Minneapolis, and they're not doing their job. So likely, they probably haven't followed up on this yet.
Boo.
So if any of you out there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, if you're listening right now and you see this stuff happen, and you see it, and you follow this article, keep an eye out for suspicious cleaning supplies popping up on local, either on Facebook Marketplace or Etsy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Which, that bugs me a little bit because Etsy used to be just craft stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it went from craft stuff to, I've got this leftover thing. And now it's craft stuff, and hey, here's a billion other things too.
As well as eBay, the new Craigslist. And also the new eBay. So yeah, also be wary of eBay listings for this stuff if you live in that area. But yeah, oh my god. Again, this has happened at my job as well, just that we'll have not so honest customers who will stop paying their bill and then try to ghost us. And when they do, invariably we will find on the marketplace or the eBay or some other thing that honestly most of us employees follow primarily for this reason, and then secondarily because we're also shopaholics. We'll see some of our fucking merchandise pop up on these things. And usually when that happens, we'll either have a relative or a friend go incognito and go, hey, I'm interested in that thing.
Now,
and then for the drop off with the ex-customer, we're like, we're the ones who show up and just go, give us our stuff back.
Now, here's the reason I know that this guy, besides the cell phone, is not a professional. Okay? I know this person isn't a professional, and I'm not spoiling anything. I'm not telling people to do crimes because you can find it all over fucking YouTube. Okay? He tried to hotwire the vehicle. Yep. Nobody ever fucking does that now. Okay? The only reason you would ever have to hotwire a vehicle is if the vehicle has an immobilizer in it. Maybe this did, maybe it didn't, but an immobilizer would have prevented the engine from starting. If he was able to start and drive, then it's not an immobilizer vehicle. But you literally just take a pry bar to the lock cylinder on the wheel. Okay? On the steering wheel. You literally
not
just
even a pry bar, you just need a screwdriver, pound it into the keyhole and just wrench it until it breaks, and then you just turn it, and that causes the engine to start.
Exactly, and like I said, I'm not spoiling anything because it's all over damn YouTube. Okay, so that's how I know this person was not a professional. He took apart the damn dash. Okay, you don't take apart the dash. Okay, although I do notice that the radio is missing, so maybe they took the infotainment center out of it. All right, but it says that he hotwired the vehicle. Okay, that's just not a thing you do. It's if you're a professional, car thief. So this man is laughably inept.
Yeah.
So hi, Sherlock.
Also with the amount of problems that are going on in Minneapolis, you think he would have been able to easily get a burner phone? Okay,
but yes, Minneapolis.
Yes, Minneapolis.
Also, yes, as Vanny was saying, welcome Sherlock to the show.
Yes.
Hello.
People are dumb. This is why we even have a show.
Yep. Speaking of which, we have our second article for the night. What is that phrase? I'm trying to remember. I've heard of being out in the doghouse, but this is ridiculous. We have a man who hid in doghouse from police, sentenced for drug trafficking and money laundering. Bork.
Nobody here but this dogs. Bork, 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 bork.
This comes from your neck of the woods, Fanny.
Oh.
June 21st, 2022, from St. Louis, Missouri, where a California man was sentenced on Tuesday of this week for drug trafficking and money laundering. This is Lester Bull, 58, who admitted to being involved in a conspiracy that brought at least 100 kilograms of marijuana to the St. Louis area.
I see it in there. I'll let you go, but I see it in the article.
On Tuesday, officials found his claims that he was not involved in dealing other drugs not credible, and said in court that he was responsible for massive amounts of drugs.
Massive amounts of drugs.
I have so many drugs, Your Honor. No, you don't understand. I have the most drugs, the best drugs. I get them from the best people.
Don't.
Officials also found Bull. Officials also found Bull responsible for 20 kilograms of meth.
There it is. And that's 20 kilograms. 20
That's a lot of meth.
That's a lot of meth.
They also have 5 kilograms of cocaine and 2.5 kilograms of fentanyl.
Where is everyone getting the fentanyl? where is that coming from? Because that's not easily manufactured.
Yeah, that's not easy to get a hold of. That's not easy to manufacture. That's the stuff that you get for large animals as a large animal veterinarian.
Yes.
Well, obviously the guy knows a large animal veterinarian.
Veterinarian places do not carry 2.5 kilograms of fentanyl.
Listen.
Okay.
This is farmland territory. There's loads of farms where you are going to have shit tons of big animals, and farmers are going to have a lot of fentanyl available.
There we go. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Because they got to keep their animals healthy. So yeah,
that is a good point.
And quite often there are reports of farmers who are having to chase people off their fucking property because they're breaking into their sheds and stealing shit. Most of the time, fentanyl!
Yep, makes sense.
And that does make sense because even though there are large animal vets and like vets specializing in horses and cattle, a lot of small-time farmers will learn the basics themselves so they don't have to pay a vet to keep coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they will go and buy the fentanyl online.
Mm-hmm.
That makes perfect sense. I had completely forgotten the area.
So let's take a look at the rest of this. Authorities say their investigation started in 2016 when the post office's inspection service began looking into money orders that were brought into the St. Louis area as a way of taking drug proceeds to California. Bull was arrested in October 2020. Investigators say they watched one of the other defendants leave a home in Ferguson with 445 grams of meth. Authorities then tried to approach Bull, but they say he ran, jumped into a creek, and was found hiding in a doghouse a few blocks away. Authorities say...
I gotta, you know what? I gotta give him some credit because, one, he jumped in the creek, so you're not going to be able to send a canine after him.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
That's not enough. It depends. It depends on what was in the creek. But then hiding in a doghouse, that's not a bad place because nobody ever looks in those.
It depends on the situation, because this isn't the first time I've heard a story about someone hiding in a doghouse. I mean, hell, there was a bounty hunter. There's a YouTube video out there of a bounty hunter in a VR game telling a story about how he basically was trying to serve a woman. What do they call it? He was basically serving her from the courthouse, trying to tell her.
It's a
process server.
Yeah. A lot of times, neat little note for you guys. What that is process server. Basically, the state or a private individual brings terms to the person saying, "We're suing you for this. You owe us money, and we're here to collect." And the job of somebody to go and say, or it could also be, "We're calling you in because you've been indicted for a crime."
Yes.
So it's the person comes up to them and says, "Are you such and such?" "Yes. Here's the paper. You've been served."
Yeah, exactly.
And unlike what some people think, if you just don't take the paper and let it drop to the ground, some people say, "Oh, that means I'm not served." No, that's not how it works.
The minute that they say you've been served, you've been served. That's kind of what that means. And so, yeah, there's this incident where this bounty hunter is stopped at the door by her husband, the target, I will say, the target's husband, as she is trying to sneak into the backyard, very non-sneakily, might I add. And so the bounty hunter goes into the backyard and spots 2 doghouses, 2 or 3, and they're the dome kind of doghouses, and so he tips them over and just finds her curled underneath. So depending on the situation, yeah, it could be sneaky, but also, it's kind of a 5-year-old's hiding place.
You gotta pass your stealth check.
You gotta pass.
That's what it is. You gotta pass your stealth check.
Yeah.
You did not pass your stealth check.
No.
It's actually very common for bounty hunters, private investigators to double as process servers because they get about 33% of the fee.
I don't know.
Well, if I didn't want to get shot, that might not be a bad job.
Let's see. The rest of the article says that the investigators found $9,163 in cash, a shotgun, an AR-15 rifle, 40 packages of meth, 5 bags of marijuana, and items used to prepare drugs for sale in the home of Ferguson. 4 of the defendants have pleaded guilty in connection with the scheme, and 2 others are still awaiting sentencing. So yeah, just got the funny visual of a guy hiding in a doghouse with, like, 500 pounds of marijuana.
Hold on for a second. I want to see.
I do want to preface this by, if that amount of money sounds huge to all of you out there, yes, it is a pretty big sum of money, but think of, again, recall how it was gotten. Do not be like one of my former coworkers and genuinely consider selling drugs on the sly as a viable monetary option. You will get caught, as this is demonstrated. You will be prosecuted, and you are going to become somebody's bitch in prison.
Okay, so that 1 kilogram of weed. Oh, seriously, Discord. Seriously.
What have you done? What are you doing?
No, I found a picture that was an average of 1 kilogram of weed. Okay, that's supposedly 1 kilogram.
I see it.
All 3 bags or the single bag?
All 3 bags, I think.
No, Jesus.
Okay, but that's still not that much. Okay, you could easily, do something else with that or something. But it's like.
Well then, while Gray is doing math, let's head over to our final.
I'm trying to find pictures of.
Please don't go looking up pictures of meth.
Okay, here. This is supposedly 25 kilograms of meth.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm like. That's it. People just don't understand how much this is. It really is.
It is quite an amount.
It's quite large.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Well, on that note, moving on to our final softcore article, and this right here is just. Oh, it has been a while since a YouTuber has gotten into. Well, I say that it's probably happened and we haven't reported on it, but it's been a while since a YouTuber has gotten in so much trouble that they've gotten arrested over doing something stupid. And the fucking timing, the fucking stars have aligned for this one.
This is a Bieber article, isn't it?
No.
Damn it.
Bieber has been out of the fucking spotlight for a while.
He's popped back every now and then, but not for any.
He's not even a YouTuber, though.
No.
Oh, it's a Jake Paul. It's a Jake Paul article.
No, it's not. Let me actually fucking tell you what it is. Though I will preface this by saying that this article comes from Fox, so it might be a little bit skewed, but the story itself is still something to make note of. Houston man raps about robbing ATMs on YouTube. Later arrested after allegedly robbing an ATM.
Yes. Yeah.
You really?
We've seen this one before.
Yeah, this has happened so many times in the past.
Don't brag about your crimes. That's rule number 2. Rule number 1, don't write down your crimes.
Yeah. This happened on June 8th, 2022. From Houston. A Houston YouTuber who raps about robbing ATMs out of state was arrested this week, the week of June 8th, for allegedly robbing an ATM technician in Tennessee. According to Nashville police, Darius Dugas, 27, Shashandre Dugas, 32, Christopher Alton, 27, and Lathan Riley, 30. I apologize if I mispronounced any of those names. They were all arrested after checking out of a hotel in Dixon, Tennessee. Riley, who uses a stage name on YouTube, recently shared a music video called Make It Home. In the video, Riley raps about frequently robbing ATMs out of state. The lyrics describe having thousands of dollars in their vehicle, praying to avoid the chase and to make it home. If you're gonna rap about it, then turn around and be about it and get caught. That's on you, said Douglas Griffith, president of the Houston Police Officers Union. You shouldn't do stupid crap, and you definitely shouldn't violate the law and talk about it. Authorities say the 4 Texans approached an ATM technician from behind and told him not to do anything stupid and to hand over the money. Later that day, Nashville Police, Dixon Police, and the Tennessee Highway Patrol and the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Violent Crimes Task Force tracked down and arrested the 4 individuals. Online criminal records reveal that at least 2 of the suspects were out of jail on felony bonds and had been previously arrested several times.
They were extra dumb. They were extra dumb.
Convicted
Yeah, when you actually like steal stuff from the bank, the FBI is going to get involved. It's not like you just take. Which is actually really funny because if like you, if you target somebody who just left an ATM, like you follow them, they pull their money out of the ATM, and then you mug them, even right at the ATM, that does not warrant FBI investigation. That's just classified as robbery. But if they took it from the actual ATM or the bank, then the FBI gets involved.
Yeah.
Interesting, that distinction, huh?
Yep.
It's interesting you say that, actually, because apparently, like, Riley's stage name involves the word Jug God, and it's suspected that it's in reference to the word jugging, which is a term for when criminals follow unsuspecting victims home from banks, malls, or restaurants to steal from them.
That's a new
actually
term. I've
is
never heard that.
What it is in reference to. Yeah, jugging is this new term that came up a little while ago, and yeah, that his name, Jug King, is literally him saying, I am the king of robbing people who had just left their bank.
Yeah, well done, Riley. Well fucking done. This is so stupid that fucking Griffith here is just so exasperated and done with this bullshit. A couple of quotes for you. Convicted felons doing their music videos with guns, said Griffith. How dumb is that? That right there is enough for them to get charged again. Because remember, a couple of these people are convicted felons who are out on felony bonds.
Exactly, and if they, on top of it, if they say do just that and like claim they're going to go and do it, just the threat alone is enough is indeed enough to get arrested.
Here's the second quote from Griffith, and again, he is so done with this bullshit. They want to glorify the fact they're criminals, said Griffith. That saddens me because we have all of these kids watching this, and they're glorifying it, and these kids look up to them. It's dumb. These guys are dumb. They deserve to be tossed into jail just for being dumb. All 4 of the Texans face federal charges. The FBI is now investigating to determine if they committed similar robberies before.
Well, duh. Obviously they committed more robberies. They're fucking rapped about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think these people got dropped on by the authorities so much because they were robbers. Okay, I don't think that's what happened. I think it was the fact that they taunted things. Okay,
yeah,
and that's God, I hate to be this person.
Yeah,
but it is Texas.
Yep.
It's Texas, and you know the color of the people in the video. Okay.
Yep,
now, I'm not saying they didn't do it. Not saying they didn't do it. Okay. Because they were caught doing it. All right. I'm saying that maybe there's a little extra pressure on it because of that.
I did say that this article, that the source of this article makes this particular rendition of this story a little bit skewed. So
I saw the hated symbol in the upper left. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. But like I said before, though, just the story, no matter where it comes from, is so fucking bizarre. And I love one comment in particular. I watched the video that's attached to this article, and there's, of course, like comments down below the video with the original rap, and people are making the joke about, well, I guess they didn't make it home.
Oh my word.
God, really?
Well, Well, of course, the rap video is called "Make It Home," so low-hanging fruit.
There's low-hanging fruit, and then there's just picking it off the ground.
Yeah. But still, it's
I'm
like
closing this website.
How many times has there been like murderers and criminals that write a book that have all the details that only a person that committed the crime would commit, and people just look at the book and just go, "Hey, you know what?
We just had one of those. Didn't we? Did we not just have that lady in particular?"
No, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Gray?
Oh, the How to Kill Your Husband lady. Do you know anything about that?
I don't think I do.
We did talk about this.
Yes, we did talk about this. That's why I've got so confused here.
I might need a refresher.
But this is reminiscent. I actually know a similar scenario. Essentially, it was a serial killer who wanted to make a movie about. He was a screenwriter who wanted to make a movie about a serial killer, and he got the knowledge on how to do that by actually being a serial killer.
Yeah. So
now, this one that we talked about was a woman who was a novelist.
I just posted the link to the BBC article on it.
Yep, people do.
Yeah, we talked about this. I know we talked about this one.
I don't know if I remember.
This is what happens.
This is what happens when you live in Florida and you take too much meth, people. This is what happens. Or if your neighbors are taking meth and your house is in between the smoke patterns. I'm sorry, Dre.
It's not the meth. It's the mushrooms in the water.
Yeah.
That I'll go with. It's the fungus.
Can we move on?
Yes, let's move on.
Yeah, that's the last softcore article for tonight, so oh boy, we're gonna take a break, and when we get back we'll do the hardcore material, and oh boy, there's a lot this week. There's a lot. But for now, we'll be right back with Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio, all fandom all the time. Except when we make it too easy for the cops.
So, tell me again this crime you're about to commit. What time, what day, and what is the vehicle you'll be driving?
I'm really interested in that crime you're going to do. When can I meet you so I can watch it? Not the sugar-free gummy bears. No!
Anything but those. Welcome back, folks, to Trademark's Trainwreck, a show featured on Celestial Radio, all fandom all the time. It's time to start the hardcore material, and we are going across the world today. We're going to Rome.
Stupid people in Rome. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
It's all Greek to me.
And of course, the stupid people in Rome are American, and they are now banned for life.
Of course, the Americans are dumb enough that they get banned from one of the best places on the planet.
Yeah. They are banned for life for throwing a scooter down Rome's Spanish steps, causing $26,000 in damage.
Oh,
why would you do that?
I have no clue. I think they were impatient. This happened, or at least this was reported on, June 10th, 2022. And we do have video courtesy of Public Outsider on Twitter. Thank you very much. In the latest news, a U.S. tourist who threw an electric scooter down Rome's Spanish steps has been banned for life from the site. So not banned from Rome, but banned from the Spanish steps. A visit to Rome's historic Spanish steps ended with a fine and a lifelong ban for this particular U.S. traveler. The woman, 28 years old, she's an American traveler who allegedly threw the scooter down the iconic steps. The incident that occurred in Italy's historic capital was caught on video, again courtesy of Public Outsider on Twitter. A passerby captured the incident, showing the moment the tourist let the scooter go down the Spanish steps. Shortly after the U.S. tourist throws the scooter down those steps, the police caught up with the woman and her companion. After reviewing the footage, the police fined the U.S. tourists €400 each. The Guardian reports that the incident took place in the early hours of that Friday. Reportedly,
only €400 each. That's it.
Okay, first of all, why is he getting a fine? Because he didn't do anything.
I don't know.
All right. Anyway.
Reportedly, the e-scooter caused significant damage to the steps when the tourist threw it down, which is €25,000 worth of damage, to be exact. So, we've got €800 for fucking around with the scooter, and 25,000 for apparently damaging the steps that badly.
Okay, so I'm actually looking at the video that was posted. What it is, it looks like these two got lost, and they decided to take their rented scooters down the steps, but she got frustrated, couldn't hear a word of what they might have said, but it's clear she got mad and just chucked the thing.
Yeah, it is basically fucking yeet, and with the thing just going brrrr, boom, just landing on the bottom.
And I totally understand the 25,000 worth of damage, because this is a UNESCO site. I mean, it says it right in the article.
Yep.
And further down, I know you were going to get to it, but further down it says it's $1.5 million euro restoration in 2015.
Yeah.
Okay. And in 2018 they made it even illegal to sit on the steps. So what the hell are you taking your scooter down these for?
Well, apparently these tourists must have not been aware of it, or some bullshit. Or, as Shirley said, they must have gotten lost and just went, hey, we got this flight of stairs, maybe that'll get us closer to where we're going. And, like, we've all been there regardless of our nationality. You're touring somewhere, you want to get to where you're going, you've been walking for hours, you're fucking lost, and you're just at that point where you just want to fucking, like, give up and just more or less make camp where you're standing. Or sitting, or lying down. Just depending on how stressed you are. And sometimes you do stupid shit like throw a scooter down at a historic flight of stairs.
She was done with that scooter. You could tell from the video. It was like, yeah, I'm done with it.
She just fucking yeet.
Don't yeet shit down the stairs. You will be fined.
Yeah. And apparently this isn't the first time this happened. Only a week earlier, a brother and sister duo from Mexico, they crashed a drone into the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
It's leaning a little bit more.
Apparently. Fucking A. Like, folks, stop taking the technology, stop bringing the technology close to the historical landmarks, stop throwing them at things, stop, like, trying to fly them close to the historic landmarks. Just stop. Just stop and appreciate the thing. Put the cell phone down, appreciate the memory that you're making, and just look at the thing, for God's sake.
You know, a part of me can, on the drone thing, part of me can say, well, you know, I've tried to fly even a small drone, which is actually harder than a bigger drone. And,
yeah, because, like, the smallest movement causes it to, like...
Yeah, the smallest movement... Right. Yeah, the smallest movement, the smallest breeze causes it to go anywhere, okay? So, on one hand, I can understand why it probably crashed, okay, or bumped into the tower. On the other hand, what are you getting that close to a tower that a bump would happen? Okay? You're at okay, what... If you know how to fly a drone, how do you not know the Tower of Pisa is like a protected monument? Okay? And that you should be careful with it. There's a gap there, and I have a hard time understanding. That's, you know.
I don't know, man.
I can get the drone right through the arches. No.
Don't fucking test that. Like, there's a reason why. I remember back in the day when drones were more widely available at like your local Walmart or whatever, but now recently they're really not because the craze has either died or people are realizing that it's not like a fucking commodity that you can just get and just take a spin out on a Sunday. It's something that, you need practice with.
Well, here's the thing. It isn't just that you need practice with them. It's that a drone above a certain weight, okay, now has to be registered with the FAA, and you actually have to take a drone course to do anything with professional with it. So if you're using a drone for your YouTube stuff, okay, and it's one of the, like a DJI drone or something like that, you have to get a license to do that now. Okay? You can't just fly your drone around. You have to actually get a license to do that. All right. Also, if you're doing that sort of thing professionally near the Tower of Pisa, why?
I don't know.
I don't think your drone license is going to be valid outside of the US, to be honest.
No clue.
I mean, this was an actual problem. Why, like, because Gray's right. When certain like drones were getting big enough, like everyone was like, so what do we do with these things? Like, how do we some of these things can get high enough for that some low flying planes could hit them. So
well,
what do we do?
That actually was a problem. I mean, there were issues where they were having problems with drones getting too high in the air or drones going over protected space, okay, where they're not supposed to be. And they said, well, we can't keep doing this, and the killer was actually idiots that were flying drones near airports. Okay. Yep. There was a number of drone flights that went and triggered radar on tower radars. Okay. Where you had air traffic controllers panic because there was another flying object in the air and it wasn't a bird. And, they were kind of right to panic because, you get a drone into the front of a jet engine, it's going to stop that jet engine. Okay. It just is the same way a bird would stop it.
So
that's
folks,
why we have to license.
That whole scene from Die Hard 2 of getting sucked into a jet engine. Yeah, you might die, but the plane's not going anywhere after that.
Yeah, exactly.
And when I say you might die, it's because it's pretty soft as sheet aluminum, and you'll get fucked up. But like your body's going to fuck up the engine more. So there was that famous video of a flight controller on an aircraft carrier deck get sucked into a jet engine. Yep. He came out just fine. He came out the other side kind of okay.
But those, in all fairness, those were not turbofans. Okay. There's a difference between a turbofan and a straight jet engine. Okay. A straight jet engine is literally pretty much a tube. Okay. The commercial jets run on turbofans. Okay. Which have blades. Okay. And you have essentially a multi, 1,000 horsepower blender is what you have. Okay. Which is why so many people love the one scene in Firefly, myself included. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you haven't watched Firefly, you don't know the scene, go watch Firefly. I'm not going to
fucking watch Firefly.
Go watch Firefly anyway.
Yeah, go watch it before these two tie you down to a chair to make you watch it.
But the whole point is that anything that gets into that engine is just, it's going to stop it. That engine is not going to be worth a shit. Okay, whether or not the person in question survives after being put through the engine, that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah. Anywho, moving on to our second hardcore article. I'm debating which one to actually do, but I think this one will do just fine. Got a couple stories from Florida for our final two articles for the night. Let me just check real quick to make sure that nobody was hurt in this case. Because, some shit happened. This happened today at the time of this recording, June 22nd, 2022. where police say that teens broke into an $8 million Florida mansion and held boxing matches during a house party.
You know what? I can't say the break-in is new, but the boxing matches are new.
The boxing is new, yes. That's a new one on me.
First rule about Fight Club. Don't talk about Fight Club. Yep. Walton County. A sheriff's office in Florida is searching for the young adults who say they broke into an $8 million seaside home, threw a party, vandalizing the property in the process, and posted video evidence on social media, which we do have.
Again, don't advertise your crimes.
Don't. The Walton County Sheriff's Office posted videos from the open house party to its Facebook page on Monday in hopes that the people involved, which are around 200 young adults, would come clean and turn themselves in. An open house... Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. An open house party is against the law, the sheriff's office wrote. An open house party in a home you break into is a burglary.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
The Post said they discovered the illegal party after the sheriff's office received a noise complaint from security in the area of South Walton, which is about 30 miles from Panama City Beach. They were called to Blackwater Street in Watercolor, a beachside community that features luxurious resorts, according to its website. The owners of the home didn't know anything was happening because they were out of town.
All right, hang on. Sorry to interrupt you, Trey, but I just got to say this.
Uh-huh.
I'm betting you anything that house is unoccupied almost 3/4 of the year, probably more.
Oh yeah,
Probably,
without a doubt.
Yep.
That's just the thing that happens. People buy.
So I'm kind of in the bag of fuck them.
I mean, I'm with you there too, but a little voice in my head is kind of like, if they're still paying for the property taxes, that's still kind of a crime because they broke somebody else's property.
It didn't say it's not a crime. Didn't say it's not a crime.
Didn't say it's not a crime. I'm just saying fuck them, because rich assholes buying up property and real estate and just hoarding it themselves without really using it is one of the biggest problems in the world right now.
Oh yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that.
It really is, because right now we're having a huge we have a really bad housing situation going on right now in our country. So many people are trying to so many people are hoarding up the better homes and reselling them on the market for stupid prices,
or renting them out
at a stupid rate, like at a really crappy, absolutely ludicrously high rate, and everything, and it's gonna crash. I'm just gonna tell y'all now, it's all gonna crash very soon, and once it does, that's when all these amazing homes are gonna get snatched up by basically people who are like me, who are broke.
Yep, it's gonna. That's when our home equity is gonna go from $91,000 to crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then basically where's your money then? So it's very much on the verge of happening, but right now, before that crash, it really sucks, because you've got people who otherwise couldn't pay decent mortgage rates and who could pay on time and could do really well with that kind of thing, who are being told, sorry, your bid's not high enough.
Yep.
So getting back to the article proper.
Mm-hmm.
When law enforcement arrived, partygoers left the scene. They said evidence from the party was easy to find since those that broke in posted their own evidence on social media. Videos are circulating on Snapchat, Instagram, and other social media platforms with some of the highlights, including where some of the people attending turned the foyer of the $8 million home into a boxing ring. Let's see. Let's skip over some of the details. I mean, some of them are pretty superfluous. Let's see. The sheriff's office is now asking those who ransacked the home to come forward themselves before the evidence does it for them. The owner...
that means they actually don't know who it is.
Oh yeah,
That's
obviously
right.
not. I mean, there's over 200 people in that whole entire thing. It's not going to be possible.
They might be able to identify a few of them, but they're not going to get everybody. They're not going to get the instigators. They're not going to get the ringleaders behind this.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, they're trying to scare these kids into stepping forward. That's all they're doing. The second you hear law enforcement say, "Now we've got you on video. You should come forward before the video catches you anyway." I'm like, you got shit. You've got shit.
They even tried.
If you knew who they were, you wouldn't be putting that statement out.
They even tried to do like the peer pressure thing where it's like, the videos are on Snapchat. Your friends are going to snitch. Word gets out, guys. You'll be tagged and pics on the gram.
That's not a peer pressure thing. That is a legit investigation tactic that they do. Interrogation tactic.
Yeah.
They will basically say, your buddy's in the cell. Your buddy's in the room right over, ratting you out right now. It's an outright lie.
Oh, yeah.
They could have no one in there. They could say, we picked up your partner, and have it be an outright lie to get a confession, and it's completely legal.
It is.
Yep. Sadly.
Let's see.
And here's the other problem with it. Like, yeah, they could definitely lie to you and say so and so is in the cell next to you, is in the cell right next to you, ratting you out. So better rat them out before you get in any more trouble, or just tell us the truth before you get in further trouble.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's not a lie, and yeah, because here's the thing. So all you would-be criminals out there, if you think you can get away with it, and that your buddies will be ride or die with you, no, they won't. No, they won't. The second that they get the inkling that their lives are going to get fucked because of this, the second the cops get to them and tell them, listen, we have all this, and if you don't admit to it, your life is ruined, because it essentially will be. Once they realize the gravity of the situation, they are going to sing like canaries.
You know what? One of the things I'm just going to go with here is it's always shut the fuck up Friday.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you're dealing with police, it's always shut the fuck up Friday.
Yeah.
Okay?
So, and this works whether you're guilty or innocent. It especially works if you're innocent. You don't want anything you say to actually be twisted to fuck you over. If you are a genuinely innocent person and you don't want the cops to take, like, every tiny thing you say and turn it into an admission of guilt, yeah, shut the fuck up. Don't say a damn word.
Yep.
Don't say a damn word. Don't admit to anything. Don't say anything else. Say, if the only words that should pass your lips, regardless of guilt or not, should be, I want a lawyer. Every question they ask, I will answer your question with my lawyer present.
Yep.
Or I want my lawyer first.
I want my lawyer.
Yeah, just say, I want my lawyer. Every time they ask a question, say, no, let's just say, I want my lawyer. I want my lawyer. I want my lawyer. And they cannot withhold legal representation. They'll try and trick you saying, okay, we're getting a lawyer while you're waiting. No, I want my lawyer. I say nothing until I'm not saying anything. I want a lawyer.
Now, where this gets you in trouble is because there's some places like, I don't know, that big town next to Lake Michigan, okay, where they have what are called black holes. All right. And these black holes exist in a lot of communities, and they will take you before they formally arrest you to these places. Okay. And these are, I'm not saying all police officers do this. I'm saying that there is a chunk of police officers that do this, where they will question you without other people around, so to speak. And that's all I'll say about that matter, because there's plenty of things you can read online about it. And you probably still should shut up, okay? But
exactly.
if it's a choice between being beaten to within an inch of your life to where you're going to be permanently damaged, okay, I gotta think about whether I'd shut up or not. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a tough choice. It really is a tough choice. I'm sorry, I've drawn us off field.
It's okay. Yeah, pretty much what this article amounts to is they are looking for the rest of the party goers. So if you're in Florida and you've got relevant information,
yes, even though the rich are shitty, this is still a crime. Those people still pay the property taxes. This is still trespassing. If you want to be a good Samaritan and help, please contact the local authorities if you have info.
Eat the rich.
Moving on to
Eat the rich, but give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
Moving on to our final article for the evening. Oh boy. No clever segue. Nothing really. Just, we're going to Cuba on a jet ski.
What?
Yeah. What
is this fuckery?
We have a Florida man accused of fraud who was caught fleeing to Cuba on a jet ski.
You're not going to get there that
Where
way.
from Florida?
We'll find out. This happened on June 15th, 2022. This is a Cuban man who... Well, that's weird. It says Florida man, but it says Cuban man. It's one or the other, guys. Stick with it. A Cuban man charged with a $4.2 million Medicare fraud scheme is being held...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's being held as a flight risk after officials said he tried to flee the U.S. on a jet ski. A federal judge in Miami ordered Ernesto Cruz Graveren? Yeah. He's 54, of Hialeah? I don't know.
Ilea.
Thank you. He's been ordered to be detained pending trial for probably this past Monday at the time of this recording, actually. He's been charged with healthcare fraud. According to a criminal complaint, Cruz Graveren's company, Zico Enterprises Incorporated, submitted approximately $4.2 million in fraudulent healthcare claims to Medicare from February to April this year for medical equipment that Zico never provided and that Medicare beneficiaries never requested. Medicare paid Zico over $2.1 million. Investigators learned in the previous month that Cruz was planning to travel to Havana and approached him several days before his flight. Cruz agreed to cooperate with a criminal investigation during an interview, and officials said they took his passport. However, that Wednesday, U.S. Coast Guard and U.S. Custom and Border Protection officers reported finding Cruz aboard a broken-down jet ski in the waters south of Key West, heading in the direction of Cuba. The island is about 90 miles, or 145 kilometers south of the Florida Keys.
From Miami to Havana, it's about 230 miles.
Yeah, it's not a... No.
Now, the Florida Keys, yes, it's about 90 miles from the Florida Keys to Cuba itself. Like, if you went from Key West to Havana, that's like about 90 miles.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's
still...
Key West. But anyway, here's where things get interesting. Here's where things get really fucking interesting. Cruz was aboard the personal watercraft with a person known to law enforcement as a migrant smuggler. Investigators say that the jet ski was outfitted with a special fuel cell for long trips and was carrying extra food and water bottles on a jet ski.
I mean...
Is that
if you're
a thing?
desperate, I suppose. You know what? Well, there's a couple of things that spring to mind here. One, yes, it is possible to outfit a small watercraft for long distance. Okay, how you're ever going to get past any sort of decent swell in the ocean, I don't know, but it is possible. Okay, you can do almost anything with our technology these days. So, but the second thing is, have any of you ever seen Top Gear try and create a thing just across the English Channel? Okay.
No.
Top Gear went and took 3 cars and converted them to be able to cross the English Channel. Okay. Now the English Channel. Yeah, you're talking. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the.
I've seen a different episode where they turn like a couple of cars and some like RVs into a fucking train, like literally a train.
Right, but the point is they did another episode which was a challenge where they turned old cars into essentially boats.
Yeah.
Okay, to take them across the English Channel. The English Channel is not that big. Okay, it's not. All right.
I mean, if you're a good swimmer, like you can swim it.
There are people that have swum the English Channel multiple times. Okay, and they had trouble and sunk 2 out of the 3 vehicles. Okay, both times that they tried this. Okay, and those were larger vehicles that had been massively outfitted. Granted, Clarkson's had a major flaw because he's an idiot. They were outfitted to go long distance over the channel. All right. So yes, I can see and conceive it is possible to make a jet ski that will get from the Keys to Cuba itself. I don't see it as being viable because I watched 3 larger vehicles sink essentially. Okay, this is. Why?
When you're desperate enough.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just put him? Why didn't they just put him in a drug sub? Okay, those go back and forth to different countries all the time. He could have gone from South America to Cuba, all right, and been fine.
Well, because I think this guy was desperate and didn't really have like the connections to get into a fucking drug sub. I think honestly he just wanted.
If he's got the connections with a human smuggler, he's got the connections to a drug smuggler.
Correct.
I mean,
exactly.
Fair. That could be the case, but like, I don't think he has as many resources as we give him credit for. I mean, he has a fucking jet ski. That's his escape vehicle. And again, Grace said, it's possible that this happened. I just Googled long distance jet ski, and apparently, like there's pictures of South Africans who earned the Guinness World Record for 95 days on a jet ski, and this is not a zippy jet ski that you take out to the fucking like the ocean to like zip around a little bit. This is a big chunky jet ski with baskets full of gas tanks and supplies.
I'm going to bet that jet ski has one hell of a keel fin underneath it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to guess that has an extra giant fin on the bottom of it that keeps it from capsizing easily. Yeah, because that's the biggest thing with a jet ski that you got to worry about is capsizing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can get it wet, you can get all sorts of things, but the minute you capsize it, that engine takes in water. That water breaks that engine, and you're done.
So that's the thing. It can be done, but like. Apparently with these 2 it couldn't be done well because as we've discussed, the thing broke down. So I'm guessing, Greymane, that's actually what happened. I think they actually capsized their jet ski and they were just like, fuck it, let's go. And then it just eventually kind of went.
Yeah. They either burnt it out by running it flat out because you can do that, or they capsized it. And water, the way it works is water doesn't compress. Okay, no. Be honest, it does not compress. It has no ability to compress.
No.
So when you get water in your engine, in your combustion engine, it tries to compress that water, and because that water doesn't compress, something has to give, and what gives is the metal in your engine.
Yeah,
it breaks. It's called hydrolocking, and once it happens, there's a good chance your engine is scrap metal. So.
Yep.
That's why boats are not a good investment unless you want to live on it.
Yeah,
boats are not a good investment even if you want to live on them. You don't get a boat because it's an investment. You don't. Okay, I'm sorry. Even if you're a Russian oligarch, you don't get a boat because it's an investment. You get a boat because it's either a status symbol or it's one of your passions. Okay? That's why people sail all over the world. Okay? It's because it's their passion, it's how they want to live. Not because they think their boat's going to be a good investment, because they never are. Okay?
Or
Sure,
the
yeah.
only other reason to get one is if you're a professional. If your job entails you to be on the water.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's another one, yeah. In which case,
Professional
you're going to get a
fisherman.
utility boat or something.
Yeah, professional fisherman, crabber, I don't know, shrimp guy like Forrest Gump.
Drug smuggler. Oh.
Drug smuggler, yeah.
Lordy. Anyway, I think that's more or less it for this week's episode. Yeah, a lot of shit happened this week, didn't it?
It is interesting, yep.
Yeah. Folks, thanks for listening to Trademark's Trainwreck. Once again, as always, we are a show that is featured on Celestia Radio. I'll fan them all the time. With us here today has been Gray Main.
Beware of being too rich, because you taste like pig and you are good with ketchup.
We also had Sherlock.
Yeah, I was here.
And the Fangirl.
People. I don't want Instagrams about your crime. I want Instagrams about crafting, not about what felony you're about to commit. Please.
Yes, please.
Some things just don't belong on the social medias.
And if you're going to put your crime on social media, I challenge you this. Do it while you're doing the crime itself, okay, and make a dance move out of it and do the crime in interpretive dance. I challenge you.
We have Trademark's Trainwreck. Do not condone this. I don't want that shit on my For You page on TikTok. Because you know that's where that'll end up.
Name of this episode is crime plus social media. Earth does not equal social media.
Yeah, crime plus social media equals no. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Well, folks, as always, our banner art was created by Court Awesome, and our theme song was created by Marivex. You can find their social media, our social media, and all the links to all the articles we discussed in the description of the YouTube video version of this podcast. And as always, my name is Trademark, and good night.
Eat the rich.